Hey, it's Angus here. I just thought I'd make a video on showing how the SuperTrail works on smaller timelines. I've got a few people who are using it to day trade and reasonably successfully, and they want to sort of have it on a 5 minute candle, and I just thought I'd show people how that might work if anyone else is interested. So what I've done is I've picked a stock called PEIX. It's a US based stock, and you can see it's had almost a 2,000%. It's up to 1,900% for the year to date, for the last 12 months. So it was pretty flat through here, around about the sort of mid to the last week of July. It's really taken off. It's had a few sort of fairly major pullbacks, and so it's an interesting stock just to see. Normally I like to trade stocks that are less volatile, but they've sort of had a steadier, longer run at moving up. But again, no risk, no reward. So this one's certainly performed very, very well. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. We all wish that we could have bought it, around about this mid-July type mark. But the question is, how long will it continue to run? And so we'll have a look. So what I'll do is I'll go to a full featured chart. And so this is just a chart. What I'll do is I'll zoom in a bit just so you can sort of get to the that sort of mid-July type period on the chart. And I'll show you what I do with my SuperTrail. So what I'll do is I'll turn it on. I've deliberately set it at 5% just for the purpose of this demo. And you can see here that, all the buy and sell signals, it's just a crazy amount of signals. So that's way too volatile if you were trying to buy this and hold it long term, but it could be good if you're a day trader. So what I'll do is all I do when I see a stock, I just simply open up my indicator and it's percentage based. And all you're trying to do is say, what sort of percentage trail do I need to reduce some of this volatility? What can I sort of put up with without getting in and out of this stock too many times? So again, remembering it's had about roughly a 1,500% gain over this time period. So what I'll do is I'll start moving it up. So 6, 7, you can see some of the buys and sells starting to reduce. I really sort of want to clean it up through here and, through this sort of period here. So 10, 11, 12, you can see at 12%, it would have been quite good. It would have kept you through this period here. What's that back to, say, the 29th of September, so, roughly 2 weeks. So 13%, 14% is quite good. It would have kept you all the way from, the beginning of September, with one sort of, stop here. 16% is not too bad. And so 20% looks quite good because it's got rid of that sell there. You can see if I go back down to 19, see it's got another couple of buys and sells through here. If I go up to 20, it gets rid of the buy and sell that was happening around there and the buy and sell that was happening around there. So you can sort of see, if I zoom right in, you can see that sort of long wick where someone might have gone stop loss hunting. The stock might have just dipped down to there. But, it does sort of tell you that was, probably a reasonable area to, put your stop for that stock. So a 20% trail would have netted you, around about that 1,400% type gain with 1, 2, 3, 4 ins and outs, not including, your timing. You might have lost a little bit through here. You might have taken a little bit while to get in and out, a bit longer, but it's not a bad return. 20% trail for quite a considerable gain. Right, so what I'll do now is I'd like to just show you what this might look like on a 5-minute timeline, on a 5-minute candle. So if I go down to 5 minutes, you can see now that trail is a long, long way away from where the price is. So if you're looking to day trade, you're quite a long way back. So what I might do is I might go, let's say, to the 1st of August. So I'll go 0801, I'm guessing. So let's go to that. Now, so let's go something crazy, like just for the purpose of the exercise. So rather than keeping it at this, 20% type trail, let's make it, I don't know, we'll go down and we'll see what the chart tells us. So you can see it's actually pretty close there on the 17. But I'm going to go right through that. It's always interesting, like stocks typically have a range of volatility. So I've done it where I've looked at certain stocks, and in the last month I might have needed to set, let's say, a 15% trail. But if I look over the history of that stock, it often turns out that 15% type trail can be quite a good amount to use. So I'm just going to go down to 5%. That was that crazy one at 5% where it had so many buys and sells. But again, not saying this is what I'd use for this particular stock, but it's just more trying to show you, how this indicator might work. So if we zoom right in, let's pick a period where we've got a bit of momentum through here. So the stock was pretty flat at that period there. And so what we'll do is we'll start our little replay tool. What I might do, just as a reminder, see if I can hide that. In fact, I shall say it's a, what are we doing? We're a 5 in candle and 5% SuperTrail. Let's go okay. Let's move it up a bit so we know what we're looking at. And so let's go to bar replay. Let's click say around here. Let's move the speed down just a little bit. And let's go play. And so it's just a matter of watching this and seeing how it moves. You can see that the idea is that when it breaks through that 5% trail, it'll give you a sell signal. And then when it goes back above it, it'll give you a buy signal. So that would have been a nice little gain through there. I've gone a fair bit. I'm going to be better if we're further across the screen. So let's just try that. Yeah, there we go. So you can see here how we didn't get faked out there. Like it kept the trade through that little candle. Switched over to a sell because that great big wick went down. Brought us back into a buy area. Sold off there as it went down a bit. Nice, good, strong sell signal through there. You can also short. So if you're, if you're able to trade both sides of the stock, you can go both short and long using this as a signal. I've built an auto trading tool that allows me to automatically buy and sell based on these signals. It's not something I've made publicly available yet, but it works. It's around about a 1 to 2 second response time between getting a signal, sending that signal to a tool that then automatically trades that stock. So it's kind of cool, but something that I'll experiment more with later, and I might share at some stage. But you can certainly use these buy and sell signals, and something like an email or a webhook to automate your trading if you have the ability to use one of the APIs either through Alpaca or through Interactive Brokers to auto trade. So you can see a nice sort of buy signal through there. And the interesting thing to remember is that this is a $10 stock. So the current price today is $10, currently at $2.21. So you can see there's quite a bit of upside that you can make off this stock, but it certainly is volatile. And this is just purely for the sake of the exercise, running it as a 5-minute candle and a 5% trail. The way that I trade is I typically trade on daily candles, and I make it quite a bit bigger. There's a few people who are using the indicator to trade Bitcoin and some of the other coins out there. They seem to think it works quite well. You can, at the moment I just sort of, manually move it up and down, by full percentages, but you can manually enter in, 0.1% or 0.2% or 0.5%. You can make much smaller increments. So we've moved a fair way away from our stop. The stop loss will of course only move up. So, it's at $1.90 at the moment. It's gone down to $1.80 on the sell signal, but while it's going up, the stop loss will move up. So you put the stop loss into your trading tool, and you can see as the price goes up, the stop moves up and follows it up. And it's only when it sells, then it'll actually put the sell at the top of it. So if you were shorting, then you know where your sell price is as well. Or I guess you buy back in price depending on what terminology you use. There's quite a few people who use this for options trading, so again it gives them an idea of where to set their marks. So what I'll do is I'll speed it up a little bit, and it gets a little bit fast at this stage, but you can see how it goes. It's quite interesting just to see how it tries to trail it and get you in, get you out when it's heading the wrong way. It obviously works best when a stock is trending, so you can see there that would have been a good short. Back into a good long. So the price is still around that $2.90, $3. Nice little run there. this indicator doesn't repaint, it doesn't lag. At whatever part of that candle that the signal is, hit, then it automatically, creates that buy or sell signal. The best thing about it that I like is that it's specific for each stock. So I like that you personally eyeball it, so it's not like a little algorithm trying to guess, for you. And I like that you can set it for whatever time period that you're interested in. So, if you're looking to hold a stock for a longer period of time, let's say 12 months to avoid capital gains, you can set it wider. If you like your day trading and you just want to try and stop yourself from losing too much money on the downside, you're just trying to work out with this indicator what's the natural range of the stock, what's the natural sort of movement, what has it been in the past, and trying to use that as a predictor of what's going to happen next. And as I said, it is quite interesting how well it works. The other side of it is that when you're buying trending stocks and they're at sort of new areas of new highs, there really isn't a support or resistance type level. So you've got to try and use something like an ATR based indicator, an average true range type indicator that allows you to work out, well, what is the range of that stock, and therefore that might be my buy and sell type areas. So we're still at $4, racing along. You can see the changing from red to green, green to red. Volume is always a good clue too. So I'll typically won't buy unless I can see strong volume or unusual volume. So on my volume graph below, I've got a 14-day moving average, and so if the volume, if the green candle is above that 14 days, that's when I'll often take as a signal to buy. Nice little green run there, up to $4.20. Wonder what date we're up to. 10th of September, roughly. So up to that $4.50 type mark now, which is good. Back into a green area. And so again, this is like a particularly volatile stock. So, if you, and we're using the same percentage over the whole range. So often what I'll do is I'll look back over the last 2 months, and that's typically what I'll set my stop loss indicator to. We're only looking to get out of the stock if something unusual happens. Whether that's a news catalyst or earnings or anything, this indicator will pick that up. Right, we're up around the $8 type mark. Bit of a pullback down to 6s. And so, like all indicators, I think it works best when you have something else. I like to look at the RSI. I think the RSI is a good indicator for momentum and value of a stock. I typically like to buy a stock when it's the RSI is pointing up, and it's above, let's say, 55, but I want to make sure there's still value in the stock. So I like to buy stocks when the RSI is below 70. That's on a daily candle. That's why I have the RSI below. So we're back up at the $8 type mark. Nice little run through there. Got out as it dipped. It's still telling us to stay out of the trade. Back in. Nice little run from the low 8s up to 9. Up to the mid 950s now. Getting pretty close to 10. Broke through 10. Dipped out again. Back up to the high 10s, 1080s, and done. So that was just, as I said, that 5-minute candle and 5% SuperTrail, certainly probably wasn't optimal for the stock, but you can see looking through here, it's not too bad. If I was to take a close look at that, I'd say, well, see, it's 6%. It got rid of that dip through there. 8%, or 7% rather, it got me through that dip there. That's probably a good area to get out. Took me out through there. There's a few through there that you can see. You can see all the buys and sells through there. So if I wanted to get rid of those, I was, still on my 5-minute candles. So again, that's not too bad through there, like 9%, 10%. So 10%. From the start of October, I've stayed in the stock pretty well. I think get rid of that one there. Is it 12%? So 12% he disappears. You can see that was a good area to get out, good area to get in. I don't know why that little movement was there, so I suspect that this will take us up to our 13% that we saw initially. Yeah, there you go. So even if you were, theoretically day trading this on a 5-minute type candle, you can see that through that period there, around that 13% trail would have kept you in that stock longer. And so, I'd encourage you to, have an experiment with different values on the stocks that you trade. If I take it from, let's say, this buy here, signal here, roughly there, take it up to roughly up there, so that was 160% run over, that 1 month type period, which, being stopped out through here is not a bad attempt. But I hope that was a useful video. A lot of it was just watching the screen flash by, but it's just something for the fun of it, and quite satisfactory quite satisfying once you've got the right stock level. So hope you enjoyed. Let's go back, turn him off, go back to a daily candle, and fingers crossed he still keeps going up, but he could be due for a bit of a pullback. You can see the RSI's up around that 80 mark, and when it was 80 previously, it certainly pulled back. So it's something that, if I was looking to buy this stock, I'd want to, all I'd do is I'd literally click on that, I'd go add alert on RSI, and I'd say, let me know when it drops below 70. And when it goes below 70, send me an email, pop up on the screen, and that way I'll get an alert. So that's how I trade. Like, I'll find a stock that's in a good long-term upswing, I'll set an alert, I'll look at my SuperTrail, and I'll say, based on my SuperTrail, what sort of percentage do I want to set it to? I'd probably say 13%. So what I'll do is, so that I know what it is when I come back, I'll go 13% SuperTrail, which is a trailing stop. So that way, when I come back to this video next time, I'll know that that's what I set it to, and that way I can quickly get back to it. Through this period here, there was a few more buys and sells, but through here it's fairly clean. Anyway, that's the end of yet another video. Thank you very much for listening and watching.